And would the children please join me down front? Yeah. Oh yeah. Won't you wear my ring around your neck to tell the world?
I was afraid to do one little thing wrong. I was gonna be beaten, and not just beat till I bled. That they had the right to even kill us if we didn't listen. The only word I know to call it is hell.
13 children being held captive, abused, and tortured by their parents inside a home in Riverside County. One of those children escaped and called 911.
I just ran away from home. My two little sisters right now are chained up.
Do you have pictures of that?
Yes, we can shoot.
I would say it was a loving family, so I figured, a couple more years I'd see them again, and then I hear the news today, and...
Well, we got a call that there was a young female walking around saying that she came from a house over here.
Think she came from here? From inside this house?
That's what she said.
In the early morning hours of January 14, 2018, a home security camera in Paris, California records a mysterious figure emerging from the shadows of a suburban home and walk quickly down the road. Moments later, 911 dispatch receives an emergency call from an oddly childlike voice claiming to have run away from home.
Hello?
This is 911. Do you have an emergency?
I just ran away from home.
Do you know what street you're on?
No.
Okay. I'm going to connect you to the sheriff's department so that they can help
What?
you. One moment. Don't hang up.
But after she's transferred to the sheriff's office to elaborate, it sets into motion one of the most shocking cases in true crime history.
Hello?
Oh, yes, I'm still here.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 17.
What's your name?
Jordan Turpin. Turpen.
The caller identifies herself as 17-year-old Jordan Turpin, although curiously misspells her own last name.
What's your address?
Okay, you got to give me a minute. This is going to take a while. Okay, this is my address. 9257. Okay, did you get that?
Case? Is it C-A-S-E?
Okay, sorry. I'm going to start over. My address is 925705574. Did you get it?
Okay, so now you just gave me a whole bunch of numbers. You didn't give me any kind of street name there.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
She doesn't seem to have the vocabulary or sense of direction to provide a location, and soon explains why.
Okay, so you're just around the corner from your house, is that right?
Yeah, I think. I'm not sure. I've never been out. I don't go out much, so I don't know anything about the streets or anything.
Why did you leave your house?
What?
Why did you leave your house?
My two little sisters right now are chained up
Where are they cleaned up at?
on their bed.
Then there are 15 kids?
There's 13 kids, and then a mother and father.
Are you at a corner right now?
I might be.
Is there a street sign? Is there a pole with two names at the top?
I just see a stop sign.
Okay, can you go over and stand right at that stop sign?
Yes.
An exhausted deputy, Anthony Calais, is at the end of a graveyard shift when he receives the unusual call. He's to drive to a silent suburban street corner and meet a mysterious girl who claims to have run away from an abusive home. But he has no way of knowing the heroic role he'd soon play in one family's story.
Hi, what's going on?
I just ran away from home,
Okay.
and I live in a family of 15.
Okay.
My two little sisters right now are chained up.
Checked up.
Yes, on their bed. Now, mother didn't chain them up just to be mean. They're chained up because they stole mother's food.
Uh-huh.
I've never talked to anybody out there, so I've never been alone with a person, so this is very hard for me to talk.
Do your parents know you left your house?
No, they don't.
Do you take any medication?
What's medication?
Medication?
Yeah, what's medication?
Do you take pills? Do you take pills?
Oh, I don't think I've ever taken a pill before.
Okay.
Right, I haven't.
The deputy asks the 17-year-old if she takes medication. Judging by her reaction, she had no idea what the word medication even meant. It was as if the deputy was speaking a different language. This is only a testament to the type of living conditions she had been under. The only way a seemingly healthy 17-year-old wouldn't know what the word medication meant was if she literally held captive to her house. And as we're about to see, this was exactly the case.
But the reason I called And we gotta manage to get out here. This is one of the most scariest things I've ever done. I'm terrified. I called because my 2 little sisters, they're chained up right now.
Do you have pictures of that?
Yes, I can show you.
Jordan would proceed to show the deputy photos that supported the entirety of her story. Thankfully, Jordan had the foresight to take these images, as we can only imagine how difficult her story might have been for officers to believe without them.
I don't have proof of everything, but I have proof that my sisters are chained up. So see, those are the places that make it on them. And see how dirty she is? We are so filthy. We don't take baths. We don't.
With photo evidence supporting her claims, it quickly became clear that this is much greater than a runaway teenager call. Instead, he has found a victim that had just managed to escape her captors.
How did your sisters get like this?
Okay.
Your parents chained them up?
Yes, because they stole food. But they stole it because they were hungry.
Who took this picture?
I did. I took those pictures.
Okay. You make sure to save these, okay?
Okay, I will.
Don't get rid of those.
I will. I won't.
Can you do me a favor? Take a seat in the back of my car?
Okay.
Deputy Calais tells Jordan he's going to drive back to the house, reassuring her she won't be returning to her parents.
Do you have any injuries?
What's injuries?
Are you hurt?
Oh, no. Not right now.
She doesn't know what the word injuries means either. Only after the officer rephrases the question and asks, "Are you hurt?" does she answer.
Are you hurt?
Oh, no. Not right now.
What are your parents going to do when they find out you left?
They're going to want to literally kill me.
Have you ever tried to escape before?
Yes, I have.
Jordan informs the officer she had tried to escape before but failed. She was planning an escape by taking a bus to Nevada and was recorded calling to confirm how much this would cost.
How much would it cost to take me to Nevada? Nevada? No, not Las Vegas, just Nevada. Just the border, just at the very beginning of Nevada. How much would it cost? A couple hundred? I'm not going. I'll take a bus. Yeah, thanks.
And what happens when you try to?
My parents never tried to. My parents never caught me. But my older sister had run away, and she caught her. And she was, I think, just turned 20.
Yeah.
And her sister caught her and brought her back home, and she got in so much trouble.
Jordan tells Deputy Calais she's not the first of her siblings to attempt an escape, but after gaining access to her brother's old cell phone, she patiently waited for the perfect time.
911, do you have an emergency?
Did you call the police?
No, I didn't have a way to get a phone yet. This is the first chance I got the phone back.
How did you get a phone?
Okay, it's my brother's phone. He was going to throw it away, and it wasn't used. And so I needed a way to call 911, and I asked my sister, would that be okay? And because we don't know much, and so, and mother.
Why don't you know much?
We don't go around. Our parents never tell us things. When we hear stuff, we're shocked. It took forever for us to figure out what our parents does is against the law. We took forever.
And even the 29-year-old doesn't know this?
Okay, the 29-year-old does. She knew for a long time, but I think she's scared.
You're 17 years old?
Yes.
And throughout your whole life, you've never gone to school?
Right. I started first grade 2015 or 2016.
Uh-huh.
But,
How did you start first grade? Oh, in homeschool?
yes.
And you've never gone to school?
Right.
What else do your parents do to you guys?
Oh, my brother's chained up too right now.
Why did you decide to leave today?
It was the next chance I got that I could phone.
We can only wonder what was going through the deputy's mind as Jordan tells him her terrifying story. She tells the deputy she chose to escape today because it's her brother's phone she used to call, and she didn't know when the next time she would have access to a phone was because her brother was recently chained up.
How did you get a chance to get out?
Well, I was actually terrified. My mother was in the kitchen talking to the older ones, and she was laughing and stuff. And I was terrified, but she just got real mad. She just was doing stuff to my little sister, and I was just like, and she started saying that she was gonna just do stuff to us, and so I was just so scared, and I just left. I just went out the window.
So when you left right now, you left out the window?
Yes.
And your mom was awake when she was in the other room?
Yeah.
Does your dad have a gun? Are there any weapons in the house?
Yes, but they don't use it.
How long have your mom and dad been married?
I don't know, probably 20, I don't know. She got married when she was 16.
So all kids have the same mom and dad?
Yes.
Does your mom take you to the doctor?
Not all the time. There was one time we all went to the doctor, and that's because we were sick. And the doctor told us that if we were one day later, it would have been too late. She always waits to the last minute for everything.
Have the police ever got involved with this?
No.
Well, why don't you guys just leave the house?
Because we're terrified. We don't really have a way. Everyone's always looking. There's always somebody.
Well, you said your mom's always gone, right?
Right. So
Well, why don't you just leave?
either she leaves one of the older ones there, and our house, it makes a beeping noise.
Rightfully concerned her story won't be believed, Jordan is clearly well rehearsed in laying out the facts of her story. With her preparation paying off and freedom near, police soon pay a visit to David and Louise Turpin. Unbeknownst to these officers, a house they are walking up to right now would become notoriously known as America's House of Horrors, and once you see what's inside, you will understand exactly why.
Saying doing a welfare check?
Yeah.
Obviously not all day.
Hi. Hi, sorry to bug you.
How you guys doing?
Good.
We got a call for a check the welfare here at your house. So
For what?
check the welfare. So just basically check on everybody, make sure everybody's okay.
Yeah, why?
You guys have kids in their house?
Yes. Okay, what kind of call did you get?
Well, we got a call that there was a young female walking around saying that she came from a house over here. We were able to find out that this was a house, and we just wanted to check and make sure everybody was okay.
Think she came from here?
That's what she said.
From inside this house?
Think so. Otherwise, we wouldn't be knocking on your door at
Did she say her
Sunday.
name?
I don't know. Did she say her name?
I don't know offhand, but we need to check.
The visibly rattled Turpins appear to have no idea that Jordan is missing, and officers play dumb when asked her name. But based on the evidence, there is probable cause that a crime has been committed, and despite the Turpins' wishes, the officers require no warrant to search the property.
We just need to check and make sure everybody's okay.
Once we get in, make sure everything's okay, we'll get out of here.
We have a lot where we're packing.
Okay,
We're getting
that's
ready
fine.
to move.
No
So
worries.
it's a mess in here, so.
All right, that's fine.
We don't mind messes. We've been at
But I
worse.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing okay.
Okay.
No weapons in the house or anything like that?
I do have a gun. It's locked up.
Okay. Locked up is good. We like that. Okay. Well, we're going to come in and check, okay? We just want to make sure everybody's okay.
Do you have a search warrant or anything? Or
No.
you don't need one, sir?
As officers are reluctantly let inside the house, and the degradation on display is nothing short of stunning. The rooms are kept staggeringly hot. Heaps of trash are scattered throughout, molded food is observed on the countertops, and urine and feces is smeared against the walls.
Where are you guys planning on moving to?
No, my job's moving.
Oh, okay. What do you do for work?
I'm an engineer.
Oh, engineer.
You're gonna call?
Yeah, we got a call from, I'm not sure if it was the young girl that left or if it was a neighbor that saw her walking around the street. So we'll get to the bottom of it. As soon as we make sure everybody's okay, then we'll figure out if maybe she was one of your kids that wandered away. How many kids do you have?
13.
13 total?
Yeah.
Woo! You guys are busy.
Yeah.
As one officer keeps the couple busy with questions, others search the house for signs of Jordan's siblings. Behind every corner are more signs of ruin and abuse. In the children's bedrooms, they find rows of bunk beds and mounds of soiled clothes and two little girls sitting dazed atop a ragged mattress. The officer continues his small talk with the nervous David, but soon notices a door he's been strategically standing in front of this entire time.
Another bedroom back here. You got another couple kiddos asleep there.
Yeah.
Sarge, you got another room in the front right here with two kiddos in the bed. Over here.
Inside, police find more bunk beds and a quiet young boy caked in dirt, chained by his wrists and ankles. At the same moment, the little girl in the other room points to a closet door, where another officer finds more evidence to seal David and Louise Turpin's fate.
Okay. I found the missing link. All right, let's just go ahead and detain the parents.
Ma'am, why don't you step over here for a minute? Okay, with you. And sir, step over here for a second.
Go ahead and come on out this way. I'm gonna just walk her to my car.
Yep.
And put her in a different car, please. Now, let me ask you quickly: are there keys to the little locks? There.
Yes.
Okay. Where are they?
My son and daughter can get them.
Okay.
That's
So
in the house.
the ones that are in the house, they know where they are?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that what this is about?
Well, that's part of it, yeah, definitely. Does it work on his?
I know. The other one, that's what I was saying. The other one is in there. It looks different than that, but it's the same size. It's in the drawer that I was in.
As Jordan watches her parents be arrested from the safe confines of Officer Calase's cruiser, the older children search for the keys to their younger siblings' shackles. Once all 13 children are finally free, they're taken to the hospital to be treated for severe malnutrition and dehydration. Despite having the physical appearance of children, more than half are found to be adults. It was discovered that the children were chained to their bed for months at a time while not being given permission to use the bathroom. They were only allowed to bathe once a year. Food and toys were some of the parents' favorite weapons of torture. They would leave out large amounts of sweets that the children weren't allowed to have and buy toys and clothes that would be left unopened and unworn.
I'm here to announce that this morning the Riverside County District Attorney's Office filed criminal charges against David and Louise Turpin.
After their arrest, Louise and David were charged with a number of crimes, including multiple counts of torture, child abuse, and false imprisonment. In addition, David was charged with lewd acts against a child. Both were held on a $13 million bond. It's impossible to know how such two supremely disturbed souls can find each other, but native Princeton, West Virginians David and Louise Turpin didn't have far to go. Both devout Pentecostal Christians, they first met while attending their hometown Princeton Church of God in the early 1980s. They were married just a few short years later, when David was 23 years old and Louise just 16. But it turns out the once-named Louise Anna Robinette had very good reasons to leave home early, even if she ultimately couldn't escape the cycle of abuse.
A very, very close family member that he, my mother, and then me and Louise Elizabeth. People say, you know, sometimes the abuse can become the abuse, but I'm so angry with her right now. It's hard for me to give her any excuse.
While their father Wayne was a creature and mother Phyllis sang in the choir, reality between the four walls of the Robinette household was much darker.
This looked like a happy home on the outside, but inside it was miserable.
For you then, being here now,
It's sad.
does it evoke memories of love or anxiety?
Hurt.
Despite appearing the ideal couple, Wayne and Phyllis fought constantly, and harsh, merciless discipline kept the children constantly on edge. In this chaos, a predator operated in their midst, Phyllis' father, whose crimes against his own grandchildren are simply too disturbing to speak aloud. But their mother, Phyllis, condoned the horrifying crimes herself in exchange for cold, hard cash, and the scars it left may have unknowingly put Louise on the path to her own awful acts.
What people don't realize is, you know, like, it's his house of horrors. Like, that's where it all began.
But when Louise met an awkward David Turpin, he may not have been Prince Charming, but he had the intelligence and means to remove her from a terrible situation. David Turpin had a seemingly normal childhood, excelling in school and extracurricular activities, including Bible club, chess club, and singing. He would later attend Virginia Tech University and earn a degree in electrical engineering, but not before rescuing his child bride from her ongoing nightmare. David's work as an engineer required frequent long-distance moves. But despite the lack of any real roots, the couple would have 8 children in the next 15 years. They would tell friends and family that God told them to have as many as they could. From Lewis's brother Billy's perspective, his oldest sister's life had become ideal.
You know, we thought that she had the perfect life, she had the perfect husband, we thought that she was happy. Because we always saw pictures of them going to Disneyland or going to Las Vegas. I thought they were just a normal, happy family.
David found great success in his field and was employed by such large-scale defense technology companies as Northrop Grumman and Lockheed Martin. This afforded the family ample opportunity to take lavish trips to Disney World and Las Vegas, where the couple would ultimately renew their vows. But in 1998, the Turpin family suddenly retreated from public and family life. They began homeschooling the children and, unbeknownst to anyone else, were broke.
And, you know, her excuse to us was, well, the crime rate's always bad, or the kids are getting picked on too much and I don't like them feeling, you know, down on themselves.
She was committing the biggest crime.
She was doing the worst of it.
And even more disturbing signs of deception were beginning to show, such as the strangely small size of the children.
Well, they're just going to be tall and lanky like David, you know. But they didn't look severely malnourished. They looked healthy. They just looked small. I think she clothed him in a way that we couldn't see. And I think when the questions started, she cut off visual contact and just talked to us on the phone.
But a move to rural South Rio Vista, Texas, soon became the perfect chance to hide in plain sight, even though neighbors and their children were right to be concerned.
Ashley would go over there and play with them. I think that she may have been the only friend that they ever had. All the other kids would make fun of them because they said they smelled bad, they were dirty, they had weird haircuts, they wore weird clothes.
And despite living under the Texas sun, the children's skin seemed not to have seen it in years.
I had come across the kids out there with Ashley, and then I noticed how white her hands were. At first I thought they were gloves. And I said, whoa, I thought you had gloves on there for a minute. And she goes, you wash to the wrist or else you're wasting water. And the way she spoke was really, strange, like.
Eventually, David and Louise banished their children to a trailer deep into the property, where they left them unattended for months. As the couple moved into a motel to pursue a swinging lifestyle, the children were left to starve. And with their religious upbringing abandoned, the couple experimented with more taboo forms of faith.
She just told me that her and David had walked away from the church. They had been looking into other religions, but then eventually they did dabble into witchcraft. And I know that for a fact. She even talked to me about it.
The changes in Louise's mental state manifested themselves physically as well. If the eyes are the windows to the soul, over the years, her siblings witnessed their sisters slowly going dark.
You can look at someone in their eyes and you can kind of, see a lot into them, And with her, it's just like she was dead inside.
But an attempted escape by their oldest daughter, Jennifer, would prove a harbinger of things to come. And with their secret lives spilling out into the open, the Turpins' decade-long stay in Texas was coming to an end. It brought them 4 more children and deepening pathologies, but when the family moved to Paris, California, they left behind a house nearly totaled by neglect and signs of cruelty abound.
It was a house of horrors, a true house of horrors. It was right up under our nose and we didn't see it.
They had brand new bikes sitting on the carport and they just sat there and rotted, never got played with.
Yeah, it was like mental torture where you put the toy in front of a child, but you can't play with it.
When a new owner was eventually found, it would take thousands of dollars to restore the property. But remnants of old horrors lingered, including strange drawings on the walls and a grisly Polaroid of a rope tied to a bed. These habits followed David and Louise Turpin across the country, where they have their 13th and final child, and their heinous deeds would only increase. And just at their happiest, the couple decided to renew their vows in a Las Vegas chapel with an Elvis impersonator officiating.
Once again, say hello to everybody watching. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. David, a kiss for your wife, yes. And then you two, down that aisle.
In a disturbing video, we see the children try their best to behave in a world totally alien to them, their own.
Ladies and gentlemen, 30 years, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13! It's lucky 13! But wait! 9 more months, come back!
But as news of the outside world inevitably trickled in, 17-year-old Jordan decided that she wanted to see it for herself. Her hungry desire not only led to her dramatic escape and parents' arrest, but an entire universe of possibility. But how were David and Louise able to hide their secret for so long? While children in California are required to attend school, the Turpin family never did. This is because in 2011, David opened the private Sandcastle Day School out of his home, naming himself as principal and administrator. The so-called school had 6 students, each in different grades, and because it was private, the state had no authority to inspect it. But as the couple sat in court bound by familiar chains, no one would come to help them. And after a thorough psychological evaluation, both were deemed fit for trial.
Sometimes there is no why. In my work, there's no reasoning, there's no logic to explain that type of behavior. I don't have a why.
Faced with mountains of evidence against them, David and Louise wanted to avoid a trial the best they could. They took a deal and entered their pleas.
Count 1, which is a violation of torture. How do you plead to that charge, sir?
Guilty.
And Mrs. Turpin?
Guilty.
Dependent adult abuse?
Guilty.
Child endangerment?
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
At the sentencing hearing, the 2 oldest children faced their abusers, letting their parents know that despite their best efforts, they prevailed.
I cannot describe in words what we went through growing up, but that is the past and this is now. I'm getting a bachelor's degree in software engineering. In June of last year, I learned how to ride a bike. I also have learned how to advocate for myself, how to swim, how to eat healthy, and prepare a balanced meal.
My parents took my whole life from me, but now I'm taking my life back. They almost changed me, but I realized what was happening. I immediately did what I could to not become like that. I'm strong, and I'm shooting through life like a rocket.
I miss all of my children, and I will be praying for them. I long for the opportunity to have contact with them again.
I want to say to you, Your Honor, and the court, I'm sorry for everything I've done to hurt my children. I don't want any of them to be sad or depressed because of all of this. I want them to know that Mom and Dad are going to be okay.
The sentence will be the same as to both defendants. Both defendants are sentenced to life.
They're both given life sentences with the possibility of parole after 25 years, which they will each serve in separate prisons, far away from each other.
First place we went to a park with two of my sisters, and I was so excited because I could smell the air, I could smell the grass. I was like, how could heaven be better than this?
Jordan Turpin has come a long way from the terrified girl who so bravely escaped her parents' house of horrors. She's become a model with a large online following, using her experience to advocate for mental health awareness. But as she and oldest sister Jennifer admits, there are no easy answers when it comes to her parents.
I don't know. I'm never gonna know. I feel bad, but also it's like, why? I mean, sometimes I think maybe they didn't have a good childhood, but it's still their choice. You always have a choice.
I don't know what it's called, maybe bipolar, but I definitely think it could have been something like that with her. I've just always known him as a monster. That's the only way I can describe it.
With a case like no other, the Turpin children needed special care to enter a world they'd never known. But instead of providing this, the Riverside County Social Services failed them on all fronts.
We've got to shine a light on this. The public deserves to know what their government did and didn't do and how we failed these victims. They need to know that. There are resources for them that they can't access. They're living in squalor. They're living in crime-ridden neighborhoods. There's money for them for their education. They can't access it.
Instead of a loving home, the underage Turpin children were placed with foster family the Algans, where their treatment was arguably worse.
Did we see kids having to not have a safe place to live or stay at times? Yes. Did they have enough food at times? They did not.
Instead of safe neighborhoods, the older children were placed in crime-ridden ones, where they were subject to violent abuse and exploitation.
I do know they've been in unsafe crime exposure. Absolutely.
Despite thousands raising their name, the children had difficulty obtaining it. And the public guardian they were assigned refused basic assistance.
When I would ask her for help, she would just tell me, just go Google it.
But in a story of villains, the Turpin children still have many heroes. Heroes like Officer Calais, who believed Jordan's story when others wouldn't have.
Jordan? Wow. It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you.
How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm just so thankful that it was you because you were so gentle and everything.
I'm glad it was me too.
I'm just so thankful because you saved all of us. I always talk about you and stuff.
So I'm glad you had that photo. You get all the recognition and credit.
Oh, thank you.
You did the hard part and you did the scary part.
Thank you so much.
And of course, Jordan herself, whose careful planning and courageous escape led to her family's freedom.
I want to be a motivation speaker to help others and stuff, because if I can use what I went through to make a difference in the world, then I think that can heal me.
But despite the hardships they continue to face, they now have something they never had, a future.
I want the last name Turpin to be remembered as a name of strength. I want that name to be my name and her name, the Turpin name. Wow, they're strong. They're not weak. They're not broken. They've got this.
Same.